coming out of eastern Oregon, damn near Idaho. You're listening to the Double Talkin with Dog Bite Harris Show.
Welcome everybody to Double Talkin with Dog Bite Harris. That's me. On this episode, I got my good friend Felix Thursday. We bullshit about a bunch of different weird shit. I'm not even going to go into it. Just listen. But I think me and Felix are going to start doing a bi-weekly podcast where we play music and shit too. So got that to look forward to. But hey, yeah, I'm going to play by Felix. I haven't thought about this yet, so I'm going to shoot from the hip. We're going to do Weed and Songs to start it off. That's what we're going to do, Weed and Songs. But before that, we're going to hear from our sponsor, $2 Elvis. From Nashville, VIP, I don't know. He'll tell you in the thing. I'm not real good at this. So Elvis, Felix, Weed and Songs, interview. In that order. Stick around, folks. It's coming.
Howdy. My name is $2 Elvis. I'm the owner-operator of King of the Road VIP Chauffeur Service. That's the tour guide service where you take a tour of Nashville with me, the King.
Well, look out now, I'm cruising around town. You wanna see the city, I'll take you around. Hop on in my baby blue sedan, but don't get jealous of my hundreds of fans. I'll show you the sights and all the bright lights. You say, Elvis, take the wheel. Elvis, take the wheel. Elvis, $2 Elvis, take the wheel.
All you gotta do, baby, is go to www.2elvis.com, select your date, put down that deposit, and you got a date with me, the King.
Elvis, $2 Elvis, take the wheel.
I've been smoking this dope all day long. Hell, I didn't even notice that my sugar was gone. But I'm doing alright being high and alone. I guess I won't be seeing that heifer till the cows come home. I've been getting by on getting high. I've been getting by on getting high. I'm reading songs. Well, a friend of mine called and said, hit that road. Yeah, so me and Roy Dean, we set us up some shows. We're doing just fine, just getting stoned. Yeah, we're doing just fine, just getting stoned. And we're doing just fine, just getting stoned.
righty, folks. With me on the Zoom, I got the one and only Felix Thursday. What's up, buddy?
Happy equinox.
Oh, is it an equinox day?
Yeah, spring equinox.
Oh, shit. I'll be damned.
Had that full moon and everything.
I'm drinking a mule right now. It's so good.
I'm drinking a fine Pilsner beer.
Fine Pilsner. That's funny.
I bought some. Do you drink Lagunitas?
What if? Oh, nah, I haven't for a while. I can't remember what they even taste like.
They do seasonal releases. They just did this one that I used to love. It's called Brown Sugar. It's like 5% alcohol.
Is it dark? It must be dark, huh?
It's not dark like a porter or a stout. It's I think it's technically an ale. They'd also do like a barley wine that was really high in alcohol. But then I realized I saw them today in the store and I was like, oh, maybe I'll get one of these. But they add sugar to it. And I don't even want to deal with that in the morning.
Yeah, man, especially if it's a barley wine. I think
no, it's an ale, but they also do a barley wine.
Yeah.
I can't deal with, my body can't take it.
Do they call barley wine braggots?
Nah. Braggots.
Well, I know Rogue did a thing called a braggot, and it was like some kind of wine. I think it was a barley wine. It was disgusting, though.
You know what I've had is like, you ever had like elderberry wine or peach wine or any of that?
Yeah, I've had Boone's Farm.
Yeah, no, like homemade.
No, but you know, I've seen it made. My old babysitters when I was a kid used to make homemade wine out of that kind of shit and get just fucking like moonshine quality fucking wine.
Yeah, but there's an art to it.
Oh yeah, there is. Big
time. Down through generations, and then pretty soon you end up with something that doesn't taste like arsenic. Yeah,
no, they did it really great. People loved it, man. They'd have a big party with it every year, and they'd have like they'd end up making like 10 5-gallon jugs of it, you know? Yeah, they're badass. They used to grow weed and shit. Those are my babysitters. I fucking was like, used to go to a babysitter on a hippie commune, kind of.
Sounds like a hippie commune.
Little bit. They were crazy though, because they did meth, and they were like a biker hippie commune because they did like meth and shit too. But they're like safe meth heads.
Well, because it wasn't even meth then, it was just speed, right?
Yeah.
Like crank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like bathtub crank back then. You have to do like a fucking pound of it. It came in like flour bags.
Yeah, growing up off I-5, you know, when the whole meth epidemic hit, you know, in civilization, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, this stuff's been rolling through since I was in high school. Like, all the cheerleaders would do it so they could lose 10 pounds before prom or whatever. And they're like, no, it's not exactly crank.
Yeah. This one time when I first started working in mental health, we were doing a training on drugs and how they affected parts of the country and shit, you know, and there was like a pie chart, and it said, you know, meth was only like 8% of the problem out of all the drugs. And I like threw a fit in the middle of this class, and I argued with the trainer, and this old school fucking dude that worked with me. He trained me a lot. He was one of the best fucking trainers I could ask, because he was an old tweaker that got sober and fucking got into mental health. So like he read me like a book, but he pulled me aside and he's like, I can see why you're arguing in there. He's like, but you have to consider something. You're on the West Coast, so you see meth more than like most of the country. And he was like telling me, and I don't think he told a lot of people this kind of shit because obviously people judge him, but he was like, He's like, I remember when meth first came around. He's like, I was living in San Francisco in an apartment. He's like, and I had family in the Dalles in Oregon. And he's like, I came up to visit my family and my friend cut me out a line about like that big. And I was like, what the fuck is this? You invite me to your house, you know? He's like, because I was used to doing lines like that. And he was like, come on, man, I'm not a fucking kid, you know? And the guy's like, no, like, this isn't your normal shit. And he said he fucking took that. And he's like, it was just so much different than anything he'd ever fucking done, you know? So he said he actually ended up living in an apartment complex with a bunch of Hell's Angels. So he would take meth from Oregon down to San Francisco where he was living and trade it pound for pound for coke and bring it back up and like triple his fucking profit. Because the Hell's Angels loved it, but coke was selling for more money than that meth was.
That kind of got switched over. I mean, I'm not sure what the currency is like now or whatever the exchange rate on fucking narcotics is, but when I was doing I'll
be right back. I'll be able to hear you. Just keep talking.
All right. When I was doing AmeriCorps, they brought in some police officers to kind of school us on meth because we were in Medford. So, you know, and the guy said that meth was going for more than coke. Because it took less and the high lasted longer. But I mean, that could have reversed itself by now.
It might be now, you know, and also the coke nowadays is so stepped on. You barely get coke anymore. It's usually baby laxative or something, you know.
I never did coke, meth, speed, any of that shit. Well,
like
I guess I
all,
did.
like ever.
No.
Really?
Yeah, hell no.
That kind of surprises me. I figured you would have done a little bit back in the day.
What, meth?
Yeah, or anything that make you go fast. You're a punker.
No way, dude. Because growing up in Siskiyou County and you'd see all the land splits, you know. I don't want to fucking be that. And speaking of punk rockers, yeah, it was these like, I was like 15 and I hung out with these guys that are in their early 20s. And they're like, if we ever see you painting up your nose, we'll kick your fucking ass.
Good, man. That's what punk rock's about, dude.
And
like really good punk rock. That's what it's about, man. And that really opened my mind up at that Circle Jerk show, man. And I'd never really been
the old school, yeah. I'd
never been to like a real punk rock show, you know, and it was cool. So like I took my 13-year-old there who's getting into it, but she's like, she doesn't know shit about like the Circle Jerks, you know. But like, I mean, she does now, obviously, and she obviously did her research before she went, but she's into like, I don't know, newer punk, you know, like Against Me and fucking whatever, you know. But the message that was being sent there for a band called the Circle Jerks was amazing to me.
Oh, Circle Jerks are brilliant.
You know, I was just like, God, I'm so glad I brought my kid here, you know, and like, because they're basically just like, you know, fuck,
they're so fucking good.
Yeah, and then we're like, we're all humans, fucking love one another. You know, it's like hippie shit, but just like fucking insanely tough, you know? And I mean, everybody there was kind of like old. It was like a bunch of people with their kids. So like half the crowd was getting kind of mad because there'd be like some dad that would be like, hey, could you quit like moshing? Because my kid's here, you know? But
the whole beautiful thing about punk rock, especially, you know, when I was younger, like 13, 14, is like you couldn't go to a bar and see it. First of all, they wouldn't book that stuff, not where we lived. You know, maybe like LA or San Francisco or something they would. So if you wanted a show, you had to put it on yourself, which meant you had to rent out a hall or you had to do it in someone's basement. And if you were living with your parents, it was probably you're going to rent out a hall. So you rent out a hall and there's no security. You know what I mean? Like things could have gone really fucking wrong. And sometimes they did. But I mean, things could have, no one ever died that I remember. I saw some crazy shit.
I mean, I'm sure somebody did at some point, but you know, there's
not any of the shows I went to. I mean,
yeah.
But we were so insulated because if I wanted to go to punk rock shows, we had to go over to Ashland.
Oh,
Like Medford was no go. There was nothing. And Ashland was still like an affordable college town. It wasn't Marin North.
huh.
And so like Johnny B, his band at the time, which is still probably the most brilliant fucking punk band I've ever seen in my life, called Sick to Death. And
That's a cool name.
they were fucking brilliant. I mean, I can't even compare them to anybody else. They were like Rudimentary Peni meets the Bauhaus. It was all like way ahead of its time, all like dark and spooky. It was cool. But they would rent out halls, you know, and say, "Oh yeah, we need this for my cousin's bar mitzvah." You know, you rent the hall out for like $200, like some Oddfellows hall or, you know, VFW hall. And then of course they'd figure out like, this isn't our bar mitzvah. And the cops would just run in there and just, yeah, put it into any shenanigans.
Oh, really?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, you just got followed around back then. They're like, hey, he's up to something.
Oh, fuck. I got followed around. I wasn't even a punk rocker, man. That was the closest thing, I guess, to it around here. But yeah, they followed me around just because I was smoking weed.
I see. I didn't really smoke weed in high school. I didn't do drugs. But I was rebellious as fuck. And
It surprises me for some reason that you didn't do any uppers, man. You ever get any
I did do uppers. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I didn't do street drugs. What they had were they had that trucker speed that they would have at the gas stations.
Oh, yellow jackets and shit.
But
it's probably tougher than that because it was back.
It was way high. Yeah, it was probably. I mean, it's basically like meth. To tell the truth, with
because it had a bunch of probably a shit ton of ephedrine in it.
I remember taking so many mini thins one time that my hair was standing up like this. Like I had goosebumps over my whole body. My hair was standing up straight. You know, we didn't know it. And then we'd wash it down with like Jolt Cola. We thought
that's probably worse for you than the fucking
way worse.
Jolt Cola is probably way worse than the mini thins.
But I was all into the straight edge thing, you know, like all these straight edge bands.
Oh, really? That shocks me.
Well, it's because
I fucking
got accused of being on drugs so many times, and I was like, I kind of got to step it up to a higher standard if I'm gonna be like the weirdo in a small town.
Yeah,
I can't give them any ammo.
Gotcha.
So it was kind of like more rebellious for me, where I grew up, where everyone's like listening to Van Halen around a bonfire and drinking Schlitz.
What town did you grow up again?
I grew up in Grenada.
Grenada.
But that's not really a town. So I had to like go 8 miles to Wairika, not Eureka.
Okay. But Wairika is still bigger than Hebner, though, isn't it?
I think it's bigger than Hebner. Yeah, there's probably 6,500 people there.
Yeah, so it's smaller than the town I'm in now. I'm trying to think of where to even compare it to.
You can't really compare it to anywhere else.
Maybe Aberdeen, Washington might have about 6,500 people. I don't know.
Well, that would make sense. That's where Leroy's from.
Yeah, old Leroy. Dude, he's came up in almost every fucking podcast I have fucking done, including the ones that I wasn't even interviewing anybody on.
I text him every once in a while.
Whatever. I feel like I could get along with Leroy, actually. You know, I was just pissed about that shooter thing. I was pissed because I followed a bunch of his bullshit on tour once. You know, like I'd get to somebody's house or I'd get to somebody, my friend would be like, yeah, we decided to stop letting bands stay with us because Leroy and fucking what's-his-face are doing meth and my daughter's fucking.
That would be the tour I was on with him.
Yeah. And I'm just like, dude, fuck this guy. Fuck him.
They get a guy with a fucking banjo down in Arkansas. You know that story?
What happened?
You know this Gina Galena, right?
Yeah.
She's a friend of yours. So she lives in that town out there in Arkansas.
Eureka Springs, man, or used to.
Springs. And then, of course, her and Tracy, T. Racy, had the fucking road down, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, we were on tour together. and then they split off, and they were going down south, and then I had to meet Don Maddox in Nashville. So these fucking morons go to Gina Galina's hometown or whatever, and like T Racy's with me, and we start getting blown up, phone all the time, blown up over some shit they did. But evidently they were walking into the club, and someone said, "Are you guys from Texas?" Which started this fucking fight. And then I'm not going to name names, but I have a pretty good idea who did this. Hit one of the guys with a fucking banjo in the head, which brought out everyone, like their kin. You know, like, we're going to find these motherfuckers.
The town is so laid back too, man. Eureka Springs is such a laid back town.
It was everywhere we went. It was every fucking where we went. Like,
I don't think he's that. I
I
don't feel like he's that dude anymore. You know, like I think he's older and wiser. You know, I feel like I could get along.
And it's not even necessarily shit that's his fault. Like, he gets blamed for everything.
Yeah, well, it's because he's an asshole and he does stupid shit. You know.
He's funny though.
I mean, it's like fucking me shaking off 10 years of fucking being Owen Mays' friend because of all this shit that he did, you know, like, but whatever, I'll own it because I was there, you know, and I fucking might have fueled some of those fires, but not every one of them, you know.
Owen's wrath over stupid shit is hilarious. He
really calmed down towards the end though, man. Honeycutt got a hold of him too and had him.
He had to have an intervention.
Well, yeah, a little bit. Like, and I think he just had to learn that he was being stupid about some things, you know, and like just had to let a lot of things go. I mean, he was still fired up all the time, but it was different, you know. It was about things that were actually more legit, you know. Like if you got Owen fired up towards the end of his life, it was for something good, you know, and usually he would epically fuck with somebody then, you know. So
I said some shit about Amy Winehouse and he took exception. He's like, she's a fucking genius. I'm like, you're fucking, I don't know, you're high, man.
Yeah, dude, whatever. He liked what he liked and he didn't what he did, man.
Boy, howdy. And you know what? He was right. I was
gonna say, for some reason there's a lot of people that think she's a genius, that, and I don't get it, but I've never really dove into it, you know.
I don't know about a genius, but she was pretty remarkable. I didn't even know her music. I thought she was like Britney Spears. I didn't know.
No, and I think a lot of people, you know, like I think the thing that pissed him off a lot, because she was like, a lot of people like, oh, she's just stupid fucking junkie, fuck that, you know, that shit pissed him off a lot when people would ride people off for being drug addicts or homeless or whatever. That was a big bugaboo of his for whatever reason. I remember
I get more pissed off when people get sober, man, because their music usually starts to suck.
Yeah, for sure, man. You know, it sucks because in order to write good music, you got to be miserable. And usually that involves being fucked up, you know.
This is the life we've chosen. You think about you think about what would have happened if Jim Morrison lived.
Oh, fuck. Who cares?
It would have been terrible.
Yeah, well, and I wonder that too. I wonder more about Kurt Cobain. Like, where would he have went? You know, Jim Morrison. I don't think Morrison would have done shit. You know, I think Jimi Hendrix would have. Hendrix
would have been. No, I think when they had all those metal dudes come out in the 80s, that would have been the end for Hendrix.
I don't know, man. I think that he would still find a way to be relevant. Like, he'd probably been playing guitar with Rick James or some shit, you know? Because there's still places for Hendrix to fit in the 80s, man. He would have loved it, I think.
He probably would have still made good art.
Yeah, he would have done something, man. Or maybe recorded some shit, you know? Like, Hendrix is one, and especially I just went to his grave with my kid a few weeks back. So like I've been on a big Hendrix kick, and It's cool because, man, I've always loved Hendrix, man. Like he's been, as far as classic rock goes, Hendrix has been one that speaks to me pretty hard, since I was a kid. And
Oh yeah, he's
it's cool. It's cool to see my kid connect to him now too. My kid's really just been in love with Jimmy lately, and I got into him about the same age, so it's pretty rad. I wanted to be black like my whole 7th grade year. I was in love with Jimi Hendrix and Tupac that year. Which, I mean, essentially Tupac is kind of like the Jimmy of his day.
I don't know about that.
I mean, there's a bit of a difference, but they were both like prophets for black people during their time. And that's kind of what I mean. They're both speaking for their people. I mean, Hendrix's way was a little less radical and a little less angry.
I don't know, man. He did the national anthem.
Yeah, but fuck, man, Pac.
Piss people off.
Pac. Fuck, I wanted to be black that whole year, man. Actually, I think I wanted to be black.
Growing up or black when I was a little kid. Like my biggest hero was Dr. J.
Yeah, you're a basketball kid.
Well, I was a Dr. J kid for sure. I
was a Michael Jordan
afro
kid.
And everything. I remember my cousin Scott got an afro.
Yeah.
Oh, my Uncle Robert got pissed.
Yeah, I remember. I was a Michael Jordan kid. Dude, I loved MJ.
Oh yeah, see that's the whole difference in generations. So you don't like LeBron?
I don't hate LeBron. I got out of basketball.
I started watching it again because of LeBron.
I'll tell you what I fucking hated was Kobe. I fucking hated Kobe because I was
like Jordan or Kobe.
Because after Jordan retired, I became a Blazers fan for a small point in time. And the Lakers would fucking barely beat their asses in the playoff for like fucking 5 years straight. They had a great team. The Blazers had a great
life of a Blazers fan right there.
They had, or any Pacific Northwest fucking team fan. The Seahawks are no fucking better. And they just, the Seahawks. I'm really, or the Mariners. Yeah, no shit. They've got a hockey team now. Maybe that'll do good,
They got to bring back the Sonics.
Yeah, they should, man. And that the shitty thing about the Sonics is they just dumped a bunch of money into that. They just dumped a bunch of money into getting that team good. And it's funny because like 2 years after they sold them, the Oklahoma City, whatever the fuck they are, went and won the fucking title.
Yeah, I want to be an Oklahoma City Thunder fan just because I want to be a fan of an Oklahoma sports team, but I can't do it.
Dude, it's hard for me to even be a fan of Oklahoma music, man. I fucking hate Oklahoma.
Really?
Fuck, I hate Oklahoma. I don't know. I had an ex there, man, so it made me bitter about it. But now, like John Moreland, there's so much good music coming out of there. I'm like, I don't know, maybe Oklahoma's cool. And she was just a bitch, It's weird what I compare shit to. I think Wyoming, too.
I like Wyoming. I like all those states.
Yeah, you would.
I do, man. I can actually think when I'm in fucking Iowa or Indiana. I'm just like looking out.
I fucking love Indiana, though. And I love Indiana. I love Illinois. Those are two of my favorite states.
Kentucky's great.
Kentucky's cool, man. It's really fucking beautiful, man. I love most of the states, but my least favorite are Florida and Wyoming.
Nevada ain't that great.
Huh?
Nevada ain't that
I
great.
I love Nevada. I don't like Vegas, but I like Nevada.
You like Reno?
I've never even actually been to Reno.
Oh, we gotta go play Davidson's.
Dude, next time I get married, I'm gonna get married in Reno though. Because I know I'm fuck. Yeah, man, for sure. But yeah, no, I'm down. I've got a bunch of shit planned, and I don't know if my work is gonna love me very much because I'm gonna go out for a month, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go do all kinds of shit because I'm tired of fucking not living my life because of COVID or because of whatever. Like I'm writing a new album. I'm fucking gonna go hang out with my friends because I don't have any here except Jody, who's always busy and like dealing with shit right now. So like I'm gonna go hang out with my band all the time. Like I'm gonna go watch fucking Exodus and fucking Testament like 2 weeks after I go open up for the Pine Box Boys. I'm just gonna go right back up there. I'm just gonna take up residency in fucking Tacoma for a while.
I like Tacoma.
I'm gonna come back here and work and then go up there for like every fucking weekend because that's where I want to be right now, But yeah, me and Honeycutter are probably going to go do some touring in October out Montana way.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, man, we should do something. I think we were talking about doing some dates this summer, maybe, but
That would be brilliant.
I don't know. I've got a bunch of shit going now. I might need to wait for a minute, but we should at least do a weekend. I think I pissed all your homies at Johnny's off though. I probably should keep my mouth shut. But that whole Pine Box Boys thing kind of pissed me off, to be honest. But I had to take a breath and be like, look, you're going to take.
No, they're cool.
You would have been the old me though would have blew up about that shit though. You know, I really fucking hate it when somebody tells me something's good and then somebody else, like that guy's like Booker girlfriend, was like, no, never mind. Here's your options. You know, like, dude, your fucking guy just told me, or whoever, this other dude that supposedly the owner of the place just told me this is a go, and now you're just like, nope. And her like fucking email was really rubbing me the wrong way. But I think A, I was in a bad mood anyways. And two, I was like, so I was like letting it bug me. I kind of talked a little shit though, but I just was real short instead of being like the old dog bite. I was just like really short.
That was like the old dog bite.
Huh?
That was like the old dog bite.
Nah, that was pretty good, man. I would have blew up and been like, look, bitch.
Oh my God.
And then I would have got online and made like a 4-paragraph fucking post about how unprofessional that place is when they're not. They're really nice.
They're more professional than it's been previously.
Yeah, whatever though. Johnny would never do that to me though. You know, he just wouldn't pay the Pine Box Boys. You know, and actually, he probably would pay the Pine Box Boys something because he really likes them. You know, I don't know. It was like Johnny had this attitude like it was a gift to play Johnny's, when really it wasn't. You know, he had to beg him for a fucking sandwich. I love Johnny's. I don't give a fuck. Really, I loved it, man. And it doesn't feel the same to me, even though those guys are good guys. Like it still doesn't feel the same to me.
It's never gonna feel the same.
I would almost rather play it and not get paid than play it and get paid without is now. You know, like we needed. I don't know. And I think those kids are going to take it to a different place too. I just been watching them. I think they're more into hip hop and other things, and they've got a respect for Johnny, so they're keeping some of his shit relevant. You know.
Live music's rough right now, man.
It's bad, man. And I don't know. I mean, I first off, it's booking weird, you know, like, I don't know what the fuck happened with the coronavirus that made like booking strategies like change completely, but they're really weird now, you know? And like, I don't know, man, it's just different. And, you know, Kevin was telling me like most of the shows are just dead still. You know, nobody gives a fuck. You know, so
no, the underground music thing, it's like people would rather go out to some concert that costs like $250 a ticket and sit there with their phones up the whole time.
Concert tickets are fucking insane right now too, man, for big ones, you know.
Because you can't make any money off records at all anymore.
Yeah.
So I mean that's like your income. Like even when you look at like Sturgill Simpson, right?
Yeah.
He's selling nothing. He's selling like 20,000, 30,000 records.
Mm-hmm.
Like that doesn't even pay.
Yeah, it's not even going platinum because everybody streams shit now, man. You know,
yeah, it's all streaming. And
give me a sec. Keep talking. I can hear you though. Okay. Yeah.
People aren't into discovering the new thing. They want familiarity. They want nostalgia. They want whatever.
Honestly, it's kind of why I shut Ruckus down, man. Because I really got tired of trying to figure out what the fuck was going on, you know?
Well, I think not that this is anything new, but you see whatever's going on is trying to like copy whatever was going on like a year or two before. And now people are so lost It's although I mean, I guess it depends on where you go. If you go out to Texas or wherever, it looks like they're into songwriters. There's no lack of good music. It's just it's not what people choose to do anymore.
I think it'll pick back up though. I really believe it's gonna.
I hope so.
I think people are feeling it out still, you know.
And yeah, I've noticed this trend happening for probably like 20 years. It's like, well, they're like, do you want to go see live music, or do you want to go do karaoke, or do you want to? It's I don't know. There's almost like such a surplus of music, and then not only that, but everything's inundated with cover bands. And if you do get people packed into a place to listen to music, it's like I wonder if they're even really listening half the time.
Yeah, like, and we went through that phase where the
It's
fans
just sensory overload.
the show, like as far as like every fan needed to be the musician, like as respected as a musician. You know, I don't know.
There's so much flying at people. You know, you have everything coming on your phone. You have everything on your television. To really break somebody out of that trance, you know, for something that lasts more than a couple hours, where they're actually going to go research the person they just saw play.
Well, and here's another thing too, man, is like people don't want to fucking stay out past 10 o'clock now, you know, a bunch of fucking pussy.
No, there's that too.
Everybody wants to go to bed early, you know, it's fucking dumb.
Yeah. Maybe a time of war will change that.
Maybe. We're about to be in one.
We're always in one. Just
Yeah.
a second. I'm going to grab another refreshing light beer from Miller.
All right.
I'm hanging out with you.
I'll fucking pause it.
Speaking of punk rock too, it took me a long time to make that transition from playing all ages shows to bar shows,
Oh yeah.
because I spent at least the first 10 years of my life, if not the first 15 years of my life that I played music. It was all ages shows mostly.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
you have a totally different energy. And then you cross that barrier where you're like, you know, I'm not sure I really have anything in common with a 16-year-old kid at this point. You know, like I don't want to be daddy daycare. You know, like you show up for a show and people are looking at you like, are you here to pick up your kid or are you playing? I just like, that's why hats off to the fucking circle jerks. But then you go into the bar thing. Like I always, if I played at a bar, it was kind of a last resort thing, just because people would rather spend their money on drinks than records, you know.
Yeah.
And what there for like 50 other reasons, you know, there to get laid, there to get drunk, there to start a fight.
there because their friend went there, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. That's still a thing, you know. Don't give a fuck.
And it was cool, like playing country music, because you'd be playing country places and people like didn't have that as much then. So like, woo, let's fucking party. And then everybody crawls out from under their rock, you know, and which is great. But then it just sort of diluted everything.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at these flyers you have there in the background. I remember like how excited I was when the first time I saw Bob Wayne.
Yeah.
Like we had his burned CD, you know, the Blood to Dust.
They're still all burnt.
Well, it's fucking brilliant. And I just remember, can you imagine? Well, of course you can imagine. It's the first time there was like hardly any country music. There was Hank 3. There was like, the Drive-By Truckers. There's BR 549. There was Wayne Hancock. But all of a sudden there was stuff that was like a one level more underground in the country music parking garage. And it's like Bob Wayne, Blood to Dust, and it's all like fucking copied. And we're like, what the fuck? Like this is the future. Like country music's coming back. I remember hearing that record and being like, there's no way anyone can deny how fucking rad this is. And like it was exciting. Or first time like I met you and Owen, or the first time saw Hellbound, Glory, or whatever. It was like, because there are so few people doing it, you're connecting to these people from another area. Now I'm like, hey, it's Johnny Dollar Signs and the fucking Outlaws or whatever.
Yeah, man.
Look, they go to a fucking space alien with a cowboy hat.
Oh, jeez.
Fuck, man.
Christ. Yeah. Tell me that guy didn't rip you off.
Oh no, I think it's just now everyone's ripping everybody off. And that's what the whole bummer was, because even if if you think about the music there was a 357 string band and Bob Wayne and Wayne Hancock and JB, and everyone was so different. Like none of it. Yeah,
it was all, you can tell them apart, but I know where you're going with this. All of a sudden there's like a fucking 8 bands that sound like 357 string band, or 8 bands that sound like Hank 3,
but not as good.
Yeah, I know, man. It was like, and we talked about this a lot when I was going on. I was like, the scene is not big enough or sustainable enough to have people trying to rip it off yet. Like, no,
it was just.
And what happened? What happened is fucking sure as shit. And not so much with the country side of things, but there's bands that blatantly rip the goddamn Gallows off that are getting more notoriety than them right now.
That's a tragedy.
Yeah.
That's me another off. Band. This band was just fucking great. I mean, I'm sure they're still great. I haven't seen them in years. Or Pine Box Boys. There's another example. Just
they're a band that should be bigger.
What the fuck is this? And those poor bastards. And there's just so much weird American underground music. And it seemed like pretty exciting. And then it just didn't make it onto the Tiny Desk circuit. They're like, oh, this is just like a little bit too much. You might offend some fucking interior designer somewhere in fucking Marin.
Didn't make the cut for the No Depression cover.
No Depression kind of disappoints me.
It used to be cooler than it is now.
Well, it's because they used to cover shit that was. I mean, I'm not even sure what they do now.
Well, they're lazy now. They used to fucking.
There's probably burn out.
They used to dig deep and fucking try to find new shit. Now they're just fucking, this person or whatever.
I love Sturgill Simpson. Tyler Childers is cool. Like, I'm glad those guys made it to that level. But still, they're not even really that, like, that's not something like my sister listens to.
Well, they couldn't retire tomorrow. They're probably making a decent living, but they're not making Waylon money.
No. Yeah, it's unfathomable to me. It seems like there's so much. You put the right people in the right situation.
Yeah.
You'd make music cooler. You'd make it more viable. You'd make people money. Just didn't turn out that way.
Sometimes I think though they wouldn't. I think that we're just weird and we like shit that nobody else likes.
There's no way, man. It's like some of that stuff's so undeniably fucking good.
I don't know, man. I try to introduce this shit to like normal people, and they're like,
Well, and part of that is the production, because everything is like not only beats per minute where they really fuck with people, where you're almost like hypnotized because you're hearing the same fucking beats per minute over and over again.
oh yeah,
But then the production, like, if you bring in a bunch of studio musicians with mandolins and you're in a recording studio that costs $10,000 a fucking day, it's going to sound a lot different than somebody who did it in their friend's kitchen.
I don't know, man. I kind of like it more when people do it in their friend's kitchen. To be
I
honest,
like it when they do it in their friend. That's why the best
when
sounding
Bob
albums
stopped
ever.
doing it in Andy Gibson's kitchen, I stopped liking Bob's music.
Those are the best recordings that guy ever made.
Yep, the first 3 albums are the best.
so
He hates them,
Well, he's fucking nuts, whatever, because those albums are all
They're
each one is a
organic, man.
fucking classic.
Said he hates his voice on them, is what he said. Because he sings better now, he thinks. Because he just, I don't know, he sings deeper and smoother now. But
His voice is probably technically better, but it didn't have the same.
oh yeah, it is technically better. But
Like when he re-recorded that stuff, I was like, oh, this.
I hated every bit of it. They should have just remastered the shit that he had.
Honestly,
Yeah, that would have made it better. They should have just sent it someplace to get remastered.
if they even had the original tapes.
They probably didn't. That's probably why they wouldn't. But I don't know. Bob wanted to re-record all that shit.
That was of all the things I've seen come and go in music, that was like one of the coolest times.
It was, man. I really miss it, dude. I don't know. I feel like another one might be coming though. It might be our turn to have another day though.
I would hope, man. I think it's like the sense of community, which is kind of what fucks it up, but it's also the best part of it.
Yeah.
I think it just needs to go back to, instead of people trying to make money or achieve any sort of status off of it, it should just go back to solid fucking like appreciation for things.
Yeah, man. That's kind of where I'm at. And that's kind of why I've been really liking doing it again. Once I got rid of, now that I'm getting rid of all the money stress, like music's more fun and I'm able to write more shit and I want to play my guitar. I got all the distractions of the other bullshit out of the way and it's back to just music now. I'm not going to subscribe to any scenes or anything either. I'm just going to go play fucking shows wherever will have me, for whatever I can get,
I've been doing that, here and there. I just show up at places I kind of like or in an area I just want to check out. Mostly is just kind of check in because I don't want to like my reality filtered entirely through the media.
Yeah.
So I want to be like, okay, I'm going to show up in this town. I'm going to spend the night here playing songs and see where people are really at.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also why it's important, like, that was the fun thing about the Honky Tonk Road shows.
Yeah.
It's fucking just complete chaos. But
only the ones I was on, all the other ones went pretty smooth.
No, none of them went. It depends on your definition of smooth. But you show up in some little town and just kind of meet with the locals, and everybody would have like a night that they wouldn't forget. As opposed to now, it's like, well, I'm going to sit here and play pool while you're playing your songs.
Yeah.
That doesn't really do anybody any good.
No, not at all, man. But yeah, it is what it is. You got to deal with that though, and if we want to get back to that point, we're going to have to go back to dealing with that shit, that shit never goes away. Yeah.
No, I've had good luck. Besides I went and played down in San Francisco with Banjo Dan. That was, I hate going to the Bay Area.
Well, you just said the magic name too.
I like Banjo.
I do too, but man, he's a weird cat. I imagine he plays weird places.
It's the same place I always play down there.
Oh, really?
I saw he was playing down there. I was like, oh, fuck it. I'll drive down there and hang out with him for a second, give him a honky toker shirt. But no, oh my God. Him and Braxton and JB came to my mom's house for Thanksgiving one year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They were on the road. I was like, well, you guys should just drive over here for Thanksgiving.
Oh, fuck.
Then my friend Trish got all hammered, and like her godparents are Indians, and she starts looking at JB's jewelry, and she's like, do you even know what this means? Fucking with him, and turned into a train wreck. But that's when I wrote the song Lumbertown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had the lyrics, but I couldn't figure out music for it. And then Banjo Dan's like, here, let me help you. This here used to be a lumber town. I'm like, stop, dude. I'll never write this song if you don't stop. A week later, I put all 3 chords that song has into it. But
yeah.
Banjo Dan broke the curse. I was like, man, now whatever I had going on in my head before is all. He is a strange cat.
I like
Really?
Banjo Dan, though. He's a good guy. Good soul.
Awesome.
Good soul. Just doesn't march to the beat of everybody else's drum, Which if he did, he wouldn't be special,
Well, the way he plays that banjo is crazy. He's played with like Bill Monroe.
Really? Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about banjo, but I know he's fucking good,
He's good. He's real fucking good. Like blessed.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Jewish guy from Washington, D.C.
Yeah, now he's in Cali where he wants to be.
Yeah, it's more his speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. JB seems like he's doing pretty good, I guess, as far as JB goes. Just being JB.
Where is he even living now?
I don't know. I think he's in North Carolina still.
I know he
good place for him too.
He was bouncing around California for a while.
Oh, was he? When?
I thought trying to make a movie or something.
Oh, I know he was. He was working with Cameron or that guy that came up to Ruckus that was doing the documentary on JB that never came out. Because I think that tour turned out to be a shit show.
Yeah, it didn't go well as I remember.
Yeah, no, I don't think it went well at all. And then you had Strakowski on the fucking thing. I wonder whatever happened to fucking Nicole Strakowski, man. No.
I don't know nothing. I just live up here on my volcano.
Really? You don't know anything? You do, don't you?
I don't. No, I seriously like. I live like
was the fucking sweetest lady.
Huh?
Her mom was the sweetest fucking lady, though.
Word.
Yeah.
You guys got volcanoes popping off over there.
Where?
That's what I saw, like Oregon and Washington, the fucking volcanoes all bubbling up.
Which ones? I've never been paying attention, I guess.
Well, you better be paying attention.
Whatever. I'm far enough away. I don't care.
Let me see here. I'll Google it. Look, it's our Joe Rogan moment. What's this guy's name?
Who?
Joe Rogan has that sidekick. He's like always looking up at the shit he says.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what his name is.
Volcanoes, Oregon.
I love Joe Rogan, though. Everybody hates him, but I don't give a fuck.
I don't see how anyone can hate him.
Because they're morons and they don't give a shit.
I'm like,
stupid.
You know what? You should be so thankful that he's like making information that's at least interesting, accessible to meatheads. At the very least. Like guys that wouldn't have conversations with you or me will like listen to this guy.
Yeah, no shit, man. Like he's open minded. Like people are dumb. The people that hate him have never listened to him and assume because his fan base that.
Well, of course they're like, oh, he's into MMA. I'm like, good for him. He can walk into a room and not have to stress.
Yeah.
You know, like Oregon Coast and Yellowstone. What the hell? And I know your volcanoes are Three Sisters volcanoes is right. Yeah.
Yeah, they're by Ben. What
Three
about him?
I guess the ground around it is raising up
Huh?
faster than expected.
Let me see.
I wouldn't worry about it.
I'm not. I'm gonna move from here anyways.
I mean, I was a kid when Mount St. Helens happened. We got ash on our windshield.
Yeah, how fucked was that?
That was fucked.
Was it?
Yeah, I remember being like, this is so long ago. Had this it was maybe 1980. That's probably Hannah's age. Like they had the films was film. You have to put it on the fucking film projector, right?
Yeah.
And they're showing us like a news clip on the film projector of this old man who lived up on the mountain.
Yeah.
They're
That guy.
getting rid of everybody. They're like, hey, you're going to be evaporated or whatever. And he's like, I ain't leaving. And they're like, but you're going to die. And he's like, well, I fucking die on this mountain. And I remember being a little kid going, damn.
Yeah.
Like those are the men like we grew up with.
Yeah, man. That he didn't give a
Now
fuck.
we have Vladimir Zelensky. This Ukrainian dude. Everybody's all up his ass.
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
Oh, he's the one that's like, they're like, hey man, we'll airlift you out of there. He's like, send more ammunitions.
Nah. That's
But-
pretty bad.
It is pretty rad, but the Ukraine thing kind of, I mean, I think that's beyond most people's comprehension how fucked up it is over there on a good day. People, I'm not saying that like they deserve to be invaded or anything, but I don't know if we really want to tangle up with that whole situation.
Well,
It's
apparently
already kind
they
of fucking.
told us to stay the fuck out of it, is what I was told, anyways.
We're trying to stay out of it.
Well, they
except
told-
we don't know about Putin if he's like going to be like, yeah, maybe I take Poland too. You know, Boris and Natasha motherfuckers over there. But because really, here's what it comes down to, right? We're like, please don't. And he's like, I do what I want. And they're like, please don't. Or else is what? You know? Or else is what? I have nuclear bombs. You know, I'll fucking set one off. And then like eventually you have to either call the dude's bluff or just be like, all right, dude, you can have Crimea and Ukraine and the Baltic states and Poland and like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's pretty nutty. But I'm a Cold War kid because like we had Reagan going off against Russia, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel even in my youth especially comfortable with that motherfucker having access to the button. Like Reagan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was nuts.
He was nuts and senile.
Yeah. Well, so I guess it's no different than Joe Biden.
Oh man. That's just that just makes me sad. It's not because I think Joe Biden's the most wonderful, like Jimmy Stewart, like Mr. Smith Goes to Washington or anything. Like, okay, you did your time. You did the Senate, you were vice president. Like,
He ran for president, got his ass spanked for lying.
well,
He got caught lying out his ass.
He's just too damn old.
Well, no, I mean, he ran for president like a long time ago. And
Oh yeah, because he's a shitty politician. Like Obama was.
Well, he was lying and like blatantly stealing people's political speeches. I watched this thing the other day, and it might have been big to make them just look shitty, but you know, I was like, there's some things you can't really deny. Like, he was caught just basically saying that he was like a great student, and then they found out he graduated like so far down in his class because he's a moron.
They all say they're great students, and none of them were. Mm-hmm. Okay, think about our last presidents. Obama, bad student. Bush, like George,
terrible stories.
George Bush Sr., like, yeah, that guy probably got A's, but he probably like threatened somebody to get him. But yeah, you don't want to be too smart and be in that position, man. Mm-hmm. See, Putin's smart. That's what scares me. That guy's smart. People make me fuck.
Well, and he's legitimately tough. You know, he's
tougher than I am.
Oh yeah. He's a bad man. You know, he'd go
with his fucking shirt off out in the tundra.
Yeah.
Like, I think he fought a bear.
Probably. And not like a tame one that likes to wrestle like a real bear.
Like Khabib Nurmagomedov.
He fucking wrestled like a baby bear when he was little. It was all for publicity.
He's kind of a badass.
Yeah, he's pretty badass too.
I thought he was going to kill Conor McGregor. I really did.
Dude.
For a second there, I could see it in his eyes, even though I couldn't see his eyes. I was like, this motherfucker's going to murder him right here.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, Allah Akbar, you know, whatever the fuck. And like, because he insulted his dad.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
Like, dude, you're like stepping over lines I don't think you quite get.
Mm-hmm.
Living with Irish.
Really? There's a dude, and he's gotten worse with other people. Like way worse with some other people.
She hear the shit that comes out of her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know. It's a cultural thing. They're not quite fucking right. And I started like looking into it, you know, after we got married. I was like, oh, I brush up on my Irish history. I was like, wait a second, what the fuck did the Irish do during World War II?
Yeah.
Nothing.
They didn't do shit, huh?
Yeah, but guess what? Here's the weird thing. So like the Nazis didn't invade Ireland.
Huh.
Like they bombed the shit out of England, which is right off the fucking.
Well, yeah, they were trying to take all over Europe, but they didn't take over Ireland.
Huh? No, they're just like, fuck this shit. And then you had those Irish fishermen during this Ukraine thing. Russia was doing some naval drills. And they're like, hey, you can't do that here, you know, like to the Russian Navy. Fisherman boats. And like, and the Navy's like, all right. Just because, I mean, there's just, I don't know. Sometimes crazy comes in handy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. People just kind of know that Irish people are crazy, and that's just that.
It was fucking bizarre. Nobody ever attacks besides the British. But they're a bunch of fucking reptiles. Reptile aliens. Yeah.
English people, I don't know. British people are weird, man.
Their like skin's all translucent. And their food's weird.
Yeah, European food is pretty trippy, man. Like that's the one thing I've always dreaded about going over to Europe for, was I hear their food is really bad.
I would look forward to, like, I want to go to Eastern Europe.
There's nothing about blood pudding that intrigues me.
No, dude, who eats blood? The fucking British. So gross, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, yeah, I mean, I would say no offense towards British people, but I kind of don't fucking care.
I don't know. All my fucking European friends are like from Scotland and shit, man. Or fucking
Scottish. Now I can get down with Scottish.
Yeah, or Nah, fuck. I don't know. I got other ones too. Yeah. Well, what have you been listening to, man? You got anything?
Do you really want to know what I've been listening to? Because I will
Yeah.
gladly tell
Is
you.
it Eddie Rabbit?
I do dig Eddie Rabbit, but I saw him in concert at the Siskiyou Golden County Fair.
I
Let's
figured
see.
you liked Eddie Rabbit.
I will tell you really honestly what I've been listening to.
Okay.
So you know that I always disparage Nirvana.
I've never actually heard you do that in front of me.
Yeah, I've done it before. I tend to lay off just because like you have to understand my generation. Like I was all into the Pixies and all this shit. So I was like Nirvana. I was like,
Fucking, dude, you can't sit there and tell me why the fuck would you respect the Pixies over Nirvana?
oh come on. Yeah, see, like because you missed man, the Pixies.
No, because dude, have you ever heard Frank Black talk ever?
I interviewed him. He's a fucking prick.
Dude, he's a douchebag. He's such a fucking pussy.
But yeah, if you go to Felix Thursday, whatever autistic jukebox of my Substack, you can read the Frank Black interview.
How is that going for you, man? Like I've been seeing the notifications, but
I'm uploading all my stuff because I want to start writing again. So it gets me back in the habit of remembering how to do it.
yeah.
But yeah, I've been listening to Nirvana, in utero, of course.
Yeah, that's the best one.
Helmet, Dinosaur Jr.
Oh yeah.
and Clutch. And
Do you
then
even listen to any Screaming Trees? Mark Lanigan just
I always listen to Screaming Trees all the time. Yeah. I tons of Screaming Trees I'm always listening to. And then I got like my killer mix here. You got you know who I've been listening to a lot of lately, which is fucking weird? Rush.
fuck. There's a band I could never get into, man.
Same here. I always thought like people who listen to Rush were such assholes. And then I realized like something clicked. The only album I really liked was Signals, which was like their new wave album. I always listen to a lot of Halloween. Judas Priest, like constantly, Motorhead, Ozzy.
Yeah, Motorhead's always on my rotation too.
Oh, Girl School. That's a band I've been listening to a lot of lately. All female, like new wave of British heavy metal band. Then I just found out Ruby's girlfriend's in a band called Versa Vice, and they're like a post-punk band.
Huh.
So I've been listening. Have you heard Silas's new band?
I didn't know he was in one.
Screaming Apparatus.
What is it?
It's called Screaming Apparatus.
I'm gonna have to fucking there it is, popped right up.
Oh, it's fucking rad. It's so it's him and the dude from Johnny B's. So it's like Silas being Silas, but this guy putting like, I hesitate to say this.
Apparently I've liked the page though, probably because they sent me an invite and I love Silas, so I like anything he.
It's got like electronic drums. It sounds rad. I always listen. Oh yeah, that was what I started my new.
This song Jetpack, two people like it, and you're one of them.
Because it's rad. You'll dig it.
Hold on, I'm trying to get it partially muted due to copyright claim.
Get the fuck out, really?
Place.
Boo! Shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah, Little Richard's 70s stuff.
Yeah, I love Little Richard, man.
Little Richard did not stop making kick-ass music. Let me see. I think that covers most of the genres. What's the country stuff I've been listening? Oh, I've been listening to a lot of like Cryptic Slaughter, Broken Bones, and all these old like punk metal bands. Raw Power from Italy.
You checked out Sarah Shook's new album?
Not yet. It kind of pisses me off how good she is.
Huh?
It kind of pisses me off when I listen to her
Why?
because she's so good.
Oh.
It's just like, do you know that like when I got Drive By Truckers Southern Rock Opera, and that album became my fucking soundtrack. It was ubiquitous everywhere, nonstop playing it, driving my roommates nuts. And then they came out with another album after that. I think it was like, I can't remember, something about the dark. And I couldn't buy it. I was like, there's no way they can't surpass this. So I for like 10 years, I wouldn't listen to anything Drive By Truckers do that.
Dude, Dirty South and Decoration Day, or what is it? Not Decoration Day. What is that album? I have it literally on vinyl. Oh man, might be Decoration Day.
Decoration Day is awesome. They're all fucking so good.
Yeah, I don't know. They really went to shit after Isabel left the band, in my opinion. But I love the Truckers.
I find him kind of annoying, to be honest.
Why?
I don't know. It's just like,
You know, like veterans or what?
is he a vet?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to talk shit then.
Yeah, I mean, I know where you're going, and that's why I respect him, is because he's a vet and he's kind of fucking pretentious about his views on America. But, you know, he's went and put his life on the line for the country.
I don't even care about that stuff. It's just like, I thought he was kind of virtue signaling. That shit drives me nuts. Like I did. It was like, okay. Like he just seemed like he was molding into that Alison Krausseville.
Oh, I get where you're going. Yeah.
Like polite NPR bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I mean, I could see where you're going with that, but
I really hate to say it, but we need more David Allen Coe, more Johnny Paycheck.
dude, I don't think we ever need any more David Allen Coe. Like,
No, he's kind of a piece of shit.
he is. I mean, but he served his purpose. Like, I don't want to cancel him, even though he's a piece of shit. But I don't think we need any more of him. You know, I mean, I think
Well, he's a fucking brilliant songwriter.
what we need is like, you know, we need to, you know, another Waylon and not Shooter, you know, but like somebody with that attitude, maybe another, you know, Johnny or Chris. I don't know, man. Let me think of somebody that's away from that. You know what we need is another fucking Guy Clark, man. That's what we need.
We probably have them out there. It's just, you know, they're not going to get heard.
No, not until they're dead or close to it.
Yeah.
Or till fucking Morgan fucking whatever the fuck his name is, Wallen fucking covers one of his fucking stupid songs, you know?
Yeah, but that doesn't even guarantee you nothing anymore.
Nah, it just makes it so that they think that this fucking piece of shit that fucking terribly covered one of your good songs wrote it. Yeah.
Well, I better get off the horn, man. I got to get Ruby and her girlfriend to bed.
Word, yeah, I'm getting fucking tired too, man. I drank too much vodka during this interview.
Vodka?
Yeah, I've been drinking vodka.
Wow, perfect timing to start drinking vodka. It must be cheap now ever since they started dumping vodka down the sewers. Hear about that?
Yeah, I heard something about that. It's probably not even made in Russia, dumb fucks.
Of course it's not made in Russia.
Mine is called Tito's. I don't think it's fucking Russian.
No, Tito's is awesome though. It's made in Arizona.
Oh yeah. No, this says Austin, Texas.
Maybe it's made in Texas. I'm sorry, I'm fucked up on that.
Award-winning American vodka out of Texas.
Well, this is made in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Well, I will fucking talk to you later. You too, buddy.
Look with this.
Yeah. I'll see you later, man.
All right, have a good one.
Bye. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and big thanks to Felix Thursday for coming on the show. As always, great to talk to my good buddy Felix. So yeah, we're gonna send you out with "If I'm Gonna Be Lonely," another great song by Felix Thursday. Maybe I should have played some Cheating Hearts, but fuck it, I'm not gonna play any Cheating Hearts today. So yeah, be sure to tune in later this week when we have a double feature this week. So coming up Friday, we will have Fritz from Whiskey Dick. Johnson was supposed to make it, but Johnson took allergy medicine and went to bed early that night. So we got Fritz. Fritz is good enough. I did want Johnson to tell the story about how he took acid at Muddy Roots. It's one of the greatest stories I've ever heard in my life. But yeah, so anyways, be sure to tune into that. Another episode of Useless and Alone will be up. On Sunday. Countdown to surgery is what that episode theme will be. And then I guess all else I gotta say is if you want to sponsor like $2 Elvis, hit me up. I want to start getting more sponsors for the show. Hook you up with a good deal. If you got any topics, any guests you want to see, if you yourself want to come on the show, let me know. I'm always looking for new music as well. You can email any of these to dogwaterradio, all lowercase, at gmail.com. That's dogwaterradio@gmail.com. And that's all lowercase. So, yeah. Please send us music. Send us ideas. If you want to sponsor, please. We need you. Also, we share these. Share my pages. Share the shows. I appreciate all you guys, but these shows have been doing so great. I am so happy. They've been keeping me sane. So, talking to old friends, talking to myself. It's been great. So, but anyways, enjoy this song. This is "If I'm Gonna Be Lonely" by Felix Thursday. We'll see you next time, folks.
I've been hurting my whole life. So get me to that train and I'll ride out of here tonight. Well, I know where I ain't wanted and I know where I need to be. And hanging around with you, girl, just ain't working out for me. If I'm gonna be lonely, hell, I might as well be alone. And mama, you can't be unhappy on your own. If I'm gonna be lonely, hell, I'd rather be alone. Ain't no need in saying sorry, you just let them big wheels roll on. I ain't afraid of being low. I've been looked down on all my life. So get me to that border, I'll ride over it tonight. I know where I ain't wanted and I know where I need to be. Hanging around you people just ain't worth